friends, welcome to CA Cafe. It has always been interesting to discuss on GST applicability on sale of old or used car by car dealer or employer to employee, sale of personal or business or commercial by unregistered or registered person to register or unregistered or car dealer or in any other situation. The question arises, is the sale of old or used motor vehicle would be considered as a sale or transfer under the GST Act and GST is applicable? There is a both answer, no as well as yes. No, if it is not in the course of or furtherance of business. Let me tell you one example. If person A sells his or her car used personally to another person or car dealer because person A does not deal with car or no business associated with the same. The answer would be yes if it is done in the course or furtherance of business. In the same example above, if a person A sells his or her car used for business purpose, let's say delivery of goods to another person or car dealer, then it is supply in the course or furtherance of business and hence GST is applicable. Sale of used and old vehicles were taxed at the same rate as applicable on new vehicles. The concept of GST is based on the supply of the goods or services in the course or furtherance of business. And section 292 read with section 3, all forms of supply of goods and or services such as sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, rental, lease or disposal made or agreed to be made for a consideration by a person in the course or furtherance of business, importation of service, whether or not for a consideration and whether or not in the course or furtherance of business, and a supply specified in Schedule 1 made or agreed to be made without a consideration. Class 4A of Schedule 2 says that if goods forming part of the assets of a business are transferred under the directions of the person carrying on the business so as no longer to form part of those assets, whether or not for a consideration, such transfer is also a supply of goods. Thus, a car which is a part of the business assets of the company as the same is capitalized in the books if transferred, then void section 7(1)(d) read with schedule 2 clause 4A of the said act shall be termed as a supply and void section 9 shall be a taxable supply. Business includes any trade or commerce done with or without an intent of profit or any activity incidental or ancillary to such trade or commerce. So, in a nutshell, the above discussion can be summarized in the following table. If car used by seller, personal, if it is a seller is registered, no. If a buyer is registered, no. GST applicable, no. If seller used by business, seller registered, no. Buyer registered, no. GST applicable, no. If seller is a business, if a seller registered, no. If a buyer registered, yes, then GST applicable is yes. If seller is a business, if seller is a registered, yes. If a buyer registered, no. GST applicable is yes. If seller is a dealer, if seller registered, yes. If buyer is registered, no. Then also GST applicable is yes. Now the question arises, what GST rate would be and compensation rate also? We can speak in the two scenarios. If seller claims ITC or not claimed ITC. Let me explain if seller claimed ITC. GST and compensation cess would be on transaction value at below rates. This is the table, you can take a look at it. If seller did not claim the ITC, then situation would be totally different. A big relief on sale of old and used vehicles if seller did not claim the ITC. A concessional rates are available if input tax credit under GST or SENVAT credit under SENVAT credit rules or ITC under state VAT was not availed. Again, in this situation, we can talk in two different situations. After 25th January 2018 and before 25th January 2018. After 25th January 2018, government by issuing notification number 8/2018 dated 25th January 2018, central tax rate read with state tax notification reduced the rate of GST on old and used vehicle as listed in below table. Government also exempted the cess applicable on sale of used vehicle through notification number 1/2018 compensation cess rate. Please note, the concessional rates are not available if input tax credit under GST or SENVAT credit under SENVAT credit rules or ITC under state VAT was avoided. What would be the valuation? Valuation on which GST at above concessional rates to be calculated shall be margin of supply, which is to be calculated in the manner as mentioned in notification, which is in case of a registered person who has claimed depreciation under section 32 of the Income Tax Act 1961 on the said goods, the value that represents the margin of the supplier shall be the difference between the consideration received for supply of such goods and the depreciated value of such goods on the date of supply, and where the margin of supply is negative, it shall be ignored. And in any other case, the value that represents the margin of supplier shall be the difference between the selling price and the purchase price, and where such margin is a negative, it shall be ignored. And in the situation of before 25th January 2018, government by issuing the notification number 37 dated 13th October 2017, central tax rate read with state tax notification and notification number 1 dated 13th October 2017, compensation cess rate reduced the rate of GST and compensation cess on old and used vehicle to 65% of rate of GST and compensation cess on old and used vehicle to 65% of the central tax applicable otherwise on such goods under notification number 1 dated 25th June 2017 under chapter 87 subject to the below condition. Nothing contained in this notification shall apply on or after 1st July 2020. The motor vehicle was purchased by the lessor prior to 1st July 2017 and supplied on lease before 1st July 2017. The supplier of motor vehicle is a registered person. Such supplier had purchased the motor vehicle prior to 1st July 2017 and has not availed input tax credit of central excise duty, value added tax or any other taxes paid on such vehicles. The valuation would be the taxable value. Let us discuss a few other important points with respect to sale of old or used motor vehicle. If sale of used vehicles supplied by government, then in case of used vehicles supplied by central government, state government, union territory or local authority, the registered person receiving the supply is liable to pay tax under a reverse charge wide notification number 4/2017. In case of Sale of used vehicles supplied by government to unregistered person, respective department of central government or state government or union territory or local authority should obtain GST registration and pay GST. Where a taxable supply is provided by a person dealing in buying and selling of second-hand goods, that is used goods as such, or after such minor processing which does not change the nature of the goods, and where no input tax credit has been availed on the purchase of such goods, the value of supply shall be the difference between the selling price and the purchase price, and where the value of such supply is negative, it shall be ignored. Friends, hope this video helpful for you. Thank you very much for watching this video. I request all of you to subscribe to this channel to get more and more updated videos. Catch you soon. Take care.